Hey everybody, I'm Jeff, manager for the Raleigh branch. Brad had asked me to do a couple of videos, so the first one I wanted to do was on a heavy duty compressor. Kind of go over what's needed, how it works, and we'll go through a few other things with it. But first, what you'll need for setup, you'll need a heavy duty compressor, which is here. You'll need just a standard oxygen concentrator, which is here. You'll need your heavy duty compressor bottle, which is here. You'll also need a pressure line adapter for your oxygen. That's here, and that connects right here to this tubing. Your next one is going to be your corrugated tubing, which goes here. And then you have a T that is at the bottom of this corrugated tubing. We'll go over that in just a minute, but this just catches the water. And then you have a trach mask that goes here around the patient's trach. As far as the equipment is concerned and setting up, once you put the bottle on here, you want to make sure that you close this yellow part up here where it's fully closed, and we'll kind of step a little closer so you can see what I'm talking about. There's a hole that's here, but you just want to make sure it's closed. Don't worry about the percentages on this or the liter flow when it's connected to your heavy duty compressor that's here. Those do not matter because they'll only matter when we get to the air sip intensity, which I'll go to that in just a little bit. But for right now, your oxygen is being bled through here, so percentages are not going to matter, and it's taking room air through here. So if you were to open it up, more room air is going to go in, and it's going to affect your mist, so you don't want to do that right now. Once you connect this here with your distilled water, you want to connect your pressure line adapter, and of course we'll put here, but this tubing's really short, but you want to basically make it to the patient's bed. At the lowest portion, take you a pair of scissors, cut it in half. At the lowest part, when you do cut it in half, this T that is here, you'll take and install it there. What this T is going to do is it's going to catch any excess water that is going to be collecting in the tube as it is pushed through to the patient. And then of course what you'll do is just kind of swivel that down so it goes there, and then this will swivel on the patient. The first thing you want to do is turn your oxygen on. Concentrator, let's just say you have 3 liters. You'll turn this to 3. For those of you that don't know about a concentrator or liter flow, that will be on another video that some other manager will gladly do for Brad. Next, turn on your heavy duty compressor. Turn it on here. It's a little loud, so I'm going to speak a little bit louder now. But when you turn this on, you've got everything set already. It's going to begin to generate a small mist, but for it to be able to do that, you have a gauge that is actually on your machine. The machine right now, the gauge is set, I believe it's set at 35. You can take and turn that down. You can turn it down to 20 or 30. The main thing what you're looking for here is it to be set somewhere in between 20 and 30. You can push it up past 30 if you would like to, but you really want to do that and go up above 30. You can go on up to 35, 40 with heavy secretions. So if the patient states that they're having real thick secretions, you can take and turn that pressure up. It increases that mist and it thins out the secretions so they can actually breathe a little bit better. But just for general, start it in between 20 and 30 and work from there. What you're looking for mist-wise, so you'll know, is you can pull this off of the trach mask and you're going to see a little bit of mist. I'm going to try to put it up against the blue here so you can see, and you may not be able to. But that little bit of mist is what you're looking for. That means that you've got a good flow of oxygen. You've also got a good flow of mist coming from the heavy-duty compressor. Once you see that, that can go back onto the trach mask and go here, and you're set. Again, just check with your patient about secretions on this. But next, what we'll do is we'll go from this heavy-duty compressor to the air sip intensity, and we'll show you the difference in between the two. I'm going to shut this off. On the air sip intensity, you're not going to need all of this stuff that's connected here as far as your oxygen tubing is concerned or your pressure line adapter, which is here, because your oxygen is going to be flowing through your air sip intensity. This has enough pressure to actually run your room, well, it's going to be running oxygen, but it's going to take the place of this heavy-duty compressor. The air sip intensity is the only machine that I think that we have that is able to do this. You can't put it on a regular concentrator, it has to be on an air sip intensity. But what I want to show you is before you put your bottle on, let's say that the patient is set at 8 liters per minute. And let's just say that they want them set at 35%. What we'll do is we'll show you the bottle. This is where your percentages are going to come into play, and this is where your liter flow is going to come into play. At 35%, that is set at 8 liters. If it's at 40, 60, 80, or 98, you're in between your 8 and your 10 liters, so you're going to run your liter flow there. But the way you can tell your percentages is just make sure that your arrow is going towards the percentage that you need there. For this instance, we're going to put it on 35, and we'll show you what it looks like at 8 liters. You are going to have a little bit of an opening here. It's not going to be closed, but that's where that room air is going to come into play, whereas on that it did not. But on this you definitely want to make sure this is set for the right percentage and liter flow. Come here and you'll turn this on. It's a little loud, but with this and your liter flow, we were at 35%, which is 8 liters. So you want to make sure that you set your ball at 8 liters. And the main thing I want you to pay attention to is when you connect your bottle, and I'm going to try not to get my bald head in front of the camera while I do this, but I want to show you what the ball is going to do. When you tighten this bottle up to this, the ball is actually going to drop down to 6 liters. That's creating back pressure on the concentrator. That is normal. Do not try to move that up. Tell the patient not to move that up. Even though it's set at 8 liters per minute at 35%, that is normal. If you try to turn that up, that ball is not going to rise up anymore, and you're going to throw off the percentage of what's needed for the patient. So whatever it calls for, set the liter flow first, then connect the bottle. Once that bottle is connected, you'll be good to go. Then what you'll do is you'll take your corrugated tubing, just like we did the setup before on the heavy-duty compressor. You're going to measure your cord out or your corrugated tubing out to the patient. You want to go ahead and connect it to your bottle. Go ahead and find your lowest portion. You'll cut it with the scissors again, just like we did here. You'll put in your collection drainage system here, so just a T, and then connect the rest of it to the patient. Just so you can see the mist on this as well, it's going to have the same mist coming out of it. And of course you probably can't see it, but it's there. You've got a light little mist that's going on with it. And then what you'll do is connect it back to the track mask. And that's pretty much it. That's how you set up a heavy-duty compressor. You can set it up with the air sip intensity. All of your pieces are there of what you're going to need. Make sure that you do use distilled water. That way there's not as many impurities into it. We don't have to worry about the clogs that are there. And if you have any more questions or anything after you've watched the video, feel free to contact your RT, or if you're out in the field, your RT will be able to answer those questions for you. Or if you have any questions about the video, feel free to give me a call. I'll be able to answer those questions for you. If I don't know the answer, I'll find that out for you. But anyways, appreciate it. You guys have a good day, and we'll see you next time.